Boys, consistency is something that's on my mind today for a few reasons. And I want to use this video today and this time to describe to you the way, the code, the cheat code, whatever you want to call it, the system that I've used to create consistency in my life and break that comfort, like rebound, I call it the comfort rebound that you always kind of go back to after a little bit of consistency or a little bit of work. And I want to throw away the discipline term and like actually help you guys understand how I built a passion for things. I don't have discipline. I don't have some magic pill, some magic formula that I can do things that I hate like David Goggins or something. No, none of us are like that. Very, 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 very few people on earth ever will be like that. The way to true consistency is not through what they tell you it's through, and that's why most people never truly make it to consistency. And I think this video will be very valuable for you guys, not only because I'm gonna break down my system and what's actually worked for me. You know, I've been in the places where I felt like giving up. I've given up, I've taken days off, and it's spiraled me out of control. I've done that before. And I think I'm finally at the point where I have done it in so many different aspects of my life where now I can come back and relate it and say, okay, I understand why I did it here. I understand why I did it there and how I can fix it. Because it's a parallel. There's a parallel between every single goal you try to achieve or every single track you try to put yourself on and how you stay consistent and the things that especially make you become inconsistent as well. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So let me first describe to you guys my day today. And you guys know me. If you don't, you know, you guys know me. If you don't, you know, my name's Tanner. I'm a fitness coach. I think I have the best information on the internet, and I know I do because I've lived it the hard way. And the world is trying to make us soft, and that's my entire goal of life, is to escape that and help others escape it, because it's nothing more disappointing to me than seeing my generation and even other generations waste so much potential with all this technology, all the resources we have available to us. But what I wanted to start with is something that's super simple about consistency, and that's, you know, cheat days. Cheat days are something that I've taken part in, you guys have taken part in, we've all taken part in. And today, my day today, almost felt like a cheat day. I'll walk you through it. I woke up, I had a long night out last night, still, you know, had a little bit of a hangover, to be completely honest with you guys. You know, I'm not one of those guys who's always, oh, you have to always be 100%, you know, locked in. There's no bullshit. No, like, life is about balance, and you have to actually be happy. If you are, you know, if you're 400 pounds and you diet down to 150 pounds, but you hate your life because of how hard it is, you know, I'd rather have you diet down to 250 pounds, but actually be in love with your life and have the passion for the work you're doing. Because long term, you will sustain that much more, you know, for much longer. And you'll just be a better person. You won't be some dick who's always pissed off and mad and not in control of their emotions, you know. And that's what being a real man is about. But cheat days are something that it's not something that's going to set you back physically in the long term necessarily. Like a couple extra, you know, a piece of cake isn't going to set your diet back, right? We all know this. But with that being said, it is true that it's a negotiation within your own mind. So when you do have a cheat day, that negotiation is completely like, you're basically telling yourself like, okay, cool, this cheat day, me fucking off on my diet or not hitting the gym, that's more important. The feeling I gain from that, the dopamine I get from that is more important than my actual goal. And you don't like for example, a piece of cake would throw off your diet for one day. Maybe it puts you 500 calories over your deficit and, you know, you slow down your progress. So you are telling yourself that piece of cake is more desirable than your goals. But you don't wake up in the morning like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till someday I can have a piece of cake. No, you wake up in the morning and you say, I cannot wait until someday where I can, you know, look at my body and be confident, or walk up to a woman and know she's not judging me for my appearance, or whatever it is, you know? But in that moment, your desires override your goals, And you become somebody who's so focused on that desire to where you set aside your goals. You tell yourself, no, Tanner, it's okay, man. I'd rather have the piece of cake today. And all you tell yourself long term is that all this work you're doing is not worth it. You would not, think about it this way, you would not diet every day and, not starve yourself, but go hungry sometimes, put all the work and mental energy into losing weight, hit the gym, lift weights, hit biceps. You would not do that every day if the only thing you got out of it was, let's say, a piece of cake. Your reward on your cheat day is a piece of cake. So let's say all you get out of this hard work is a piece of cake. You would say, fuck no. I'm not gonna fucking do all this for a piece of cake. I can buy a piece of cake for $4. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what you're basically telling yourself is all this work you're doing that's getting you towards a goal, you would actually rather have that piece of cake, or you'd rather have the reward than the goal, because you're putting the reward in front of the goal. And it creates this dissonance, this cognitive dissonance in your head, where it's like, why am I even doing all this shit in the first place if it's not worth anything to me? So then you do that, you have your cheat day, and the next day you wake up and you say, fuck, I'm a little disappointed in myself, but God, it's so much easier just to not put in all this extra bullshit work and kind of just, live my life as normal. And, I like having a piece of cake, and I enjoy, my current identity, and I'm okay being fat because I can still have all these dopaminergic things. And that's that soft-ass mindset the world has pushed on us. Like, yeah, it's okay to be fat. Or, yeah, it's okay to fucking not like how you look in the mirror. No, it's not okay. That is not okay at all. Because if you don't like the way you look in the mirror, your kids are going to look at you, and they're going to look at you like a fat bag of milk. They're not going to respect you as a man. They're not going to respect you as an authority if you don't even have authority over your own body. So it's not okay to be fat. It is not okay to not take yourself serious. When you walk into a job interview or meeting with your boss, and you need a fucking promotion to support your family, to get them in a better neighborhood, or you need a promotion for some extra money so you can buy a better car or be more reliable for your family, whatever it is. If you don't have authority over your own body, how are you going to convince another man that you are worth more monetarily, or you are worth more mentally to that company or to that person? How the hell would you ever do that? How the hell would you ever convince that person if you cannot convince yourself that your goals are important to you? Because your goals aren't important to anybody else. Nobody else gives a fuck about your goals. Go walk up to somebody new and talk about your goals for 5 minutes and watch how fucking fast they lose interest and stop giving a fuck about what you have to say. Because why should they care about your goals? They're your goals. And you don't even care about your goals enough to stick to them. Nobody else is going to give a fuck about you. But that's how it should be. That's how the world works. They shouldn't care. They should not be there at every step of the way if you can't even be there for yourself. And I know you guys understand the principle that I'm saying. It's the same principle that leads me to work hard every single day, no matter what, to get, big biceps and, actually have confidence and be able to work hard and work extra hours at my job, do this, that, and the other. All these things. It's the same thing that keeps me ticking and able to do that. So I can, wake up, and where I was going earlier, wake up late, a little bit hungover, and still get to work. Make sure I'm on track with my macros. Thank God today's a rest day, so I don't need to go to the gym. It's my only rest day of the week. And I only do that because I have to. Trust me, if I didn't have to take a rest day, I wouldn't do it. And I promise that is the case. Because I've built up that true passion for working out, exercise, and making my life better. That true masculine power that's deep inside of me. I've awoken that through my systems. And my point is, how am I going to have that drive to do that, to wake up and go to work and work a double shift when I wasn't even scheduled, pick up a double shift just to make some extra cash for the week, for my business, for my coaching, or like I said, and still hit my macros and still drive to and from work, still have the energy to cook a good meal instead of saying fucking going out tonight. Consistency. Every single day is born from never having the mindset that you need a day off. Because you don't need a day off. You should not live for the days where you don't have to put in work. You live for the days where you have to put in the extra work because it gets you further. And that is something that if more people understood, we'd see more people in great shape. We would see more people loving their life, being happier, having the gateway to having more confidence, and not being so soft in this fucking world we live in where everybody has man titties or a high-pitched voice or dudes hide behind their girls. It's ridiculous, the shit I see, and it pisses me off. But my entire goal, my entire incarnation is to defeat that and help as many men as possible get over that through my systems that I have perfected. Because I was not born some, dude who was all hard and had all this stuff. Like, no, I had to work for it through my desires. I'm so thankful God himself, when he was creating me, gave me the opportunities to want these things for my life and gave me the hardest ways possible to get there. And I'm thankful for that. With that being said, true consistency and getting towards any goal in your life, biceps or confidence, whatever it is, all starts through discipline, especially within your own body. It all starts there. Please implement this or it will be useless. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for. And until next time, good luck, get to work, and God bless.